What's up, Lorehounds? It's Cooper here. I'm here with Samwise, the genius behind all the art. First off, you guys are playing right before Metallica goes on stage. Does that like blow your mind a little bit?
You know, we've done so many BlizzCon now. You know, it's not that big of a deal. I hope Metallica isn't too intimidated by playing the BlizzCon. I mean, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, millions of albums. It's not BlizzCon.
Right, yeah.
Right? Yeah, actually, it's
you know
awesome.
You've made it when you played BlizzCon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and the fact that they get to close for us, this is going to be huge for their career.
We're going to be getting some new tunes, I hope, right?
There will be a new song tonight.
Can't wait. So anyways, we're here for Heroes of the Storm. There are 3 new heroes announced. We got 2 right behind us, Thrall and Jaina, of course. And probably bringing in, you know, the entire Blizzard universe is the Lost Vikings. And actually that was before Blizzard was Blizzard.
Yes, it was Silicon and Synapse. It was the first game that I actually did artwork for.
Oh, cool.
Back in '91, when I started, those were the first concepts I did. Olaf, Balog, Eric, they're very powerful.
And so I think it was, that was an amazing moment for me. I remember we were live tweeting the opening ceremony when we saw them on their ship as their ultimate goes off. So we've definitely seen some of the gameplay, and they are super complicated. So can we talk a little bit of the design behind them? So you guys wanted to stay true to the Lost Vikings, obviously.
Absolutely. Well, as you've seen with some of our other heroes like Murky and Abathur, we're definitely changing the way that these style of heroes are being played. Mm-hmm. You know, with Vikings, it's no different. At BlizzCon last year, we had kind of teased the idea that people, hey, we might have Vikings going. What do you guys think? Everyone was loving the idea, so they kind of got bumped up on the list a little bit for us. We wanted to show them at BlizzCon this year, but we wanted to make sure that with, say, for example, Chen Stormstout, he has his heroic ability, Storm, Earth, and Fire. You control them all together as a group. That's fine because Chen is the star. Well, for Lost Vikings, these 3 individuals are the stars, so you can control them individually as well as all together. But we really wanted to make sure that their design, you know, fit Eric the Swift and Balog and Olaf. We wanted you to be able to control them individually. That's the dream of having the Lost Vikings in. We didn't want to put them out until we could figure out a way to do that, and the design team has basically got this in, and you've just played it. It's very difficult to play, but probably shouldn't be a problem for all of our Blizzard community because they're all just, you know, monsters on these games.
So did the success of those outside the MOBA norm heroes like Murky really make this even more possible? Like seeing the success of Murky, you're like, well, Lost Vikings makes total sense then.
Yeah, when we first introduced, it was Abathur. People saw it and like, oh, you can't do that. Yeah. And now everyone's people really love this new style of gameplay. Murky followed suit, and now we got, you know, Lost Vikings. This style, not every hero will be like that. A lot of them will be very, you know, just sort of what you would expect, where you can, you know, blast from afar and do area effect damage, things like that. But some of these heroes, we want to change this up. We want people to be, wow, what are they going to do next? And, you know, Lost Vikings is a great example of Blizzard design going crazy.
And I really think it opens it up to more people, because I think the MOBA genre can be, you know, either the community can be toxic or it just seems so twitchy that people are a little skittish of getting into it. But when you have these different heroes that are like, oh, I'm just actually sitting back, but I'm still contributing a huge amount just in a different way, really brings in and makes it more accessible to the community at large.
All about variety. Yeah. You know, if everybody, as awesome as Thrall is, if every hero was Thrall, that's not fun to play.
Right. And not to take away anything from Jaina and Thrall, they are your typical heroes we would expect. Yeah. They're both the DPS class, the heavy damage dealers. What does Jaina focus on?
Jaina is all about this. Jaina. She's basically, you know, the ice mage. She is, all of her powers are about water and ice and doing lots of damage in big bursts. And she's definitely not the strongest of characters, so make sure that she stays out of the, you know, the line of fire and things like that. But when it comes to damage, Jaina is one of just amazing characters. So if you like to get in there and just, you know, rain some frozen hell on people, it's you're able to do that with Jaina. Where Thrall, he's a high DPS character as well, but he's melee. So we need to make sure that, you know, he stays in the battlefield.
A little more tanky.
His basic, we have these passive abilities, they're called. It's Frost Wolf Resilience. So after you do 5, if you hit 5, it's currently, I think, 5 abilities that you hit the enemy with, Thrall will heal himself. So you're wanting to engage the enemy to do damage, but also the more that you do, it heals yourself. So it felt very Thrall, very Orc, very War Chief to be at the front of the battle, just, mowing down people, using your, you're in your black Doom plate, you got Doom Hammer's hammer, and you're just in, it felt perfect.
Sounds pretty badass.
Yeah.
So Lost Vikings was kind of the first hero introduction from the greater Blizzard, outside the big three.
They were
Now
Blizzard's
four.
first heroes.
They
were the first heroes Blizzard made.
Yeah.
The OG of the OG.
But you guys have been playing with maps that are outside of the general known Blizzard universes. And we actually just played one. It was a very Egyptian map.
Yeah, Sky Temple.
Yeah. And one of their big things is, as you know, their maps are like their game modes. So we would have to capture the temples, and then they would just start attacking.
Yes.
And attacking the other fortifications of the opponents. What's the other map we were teasing a little during the panel?
Well, so we're showing Sky Temple. That's our battleground we have here. For Tomb of the Spider Queen, this battleground is basically in a sort of a crypt-like environment, but much like Sky Temple, a very high magic, rich, and wealthy underworld, though. Where Sky Temple is out there with the sun, and the temples of the sun are blasting enemies. Down in the Tomb of the Spider Queen, you're collecting these sort of spider gems that once you collect enough, you turn in these tributes, and the Spider Queen sends her minions to fight for your side. Currently, one in each lane, and she summons these sort of mechanical gold and gem encrusted spiders. It's high magic society, but with an underworld sort of vibe.
And there was a bit of a tease of a Diablo-inspired map. What's going on there?
Well, we had, ever since we released this, people have been, when are you going to do this in, Warcraft, Starcraft? Well, we sort of waited a little bit because we wanted to make these battlegrounds where no one has any sort of preconceived notions.
Right.
If we had made it, as I had said earlier, in Elwyn Forest, people would expect that we're fighting Defiance bandits and kobolds and killing cows. That's not, we wanted something, you wouldn't have a Dragon Knight in Elwyn Forest, right? So we started with these sort of neutral worlds, uninhibited by any sort of lore. So we could do whatever we want. There would have been no Dragon Knight had we started in.
No Garden of Terror.
Right. No Garden of Terror, yeah. So now, we've just now announced that we're going to be doing, our new battleground is going to be Heaven versus Hell. Set in the Diablo world where it's heaven and hell, meeting together as only they could in the Nexus, which is, of course, where Heroes of the Storm takes place.
Can't wait. So when is this stuff coming out for Heroes?
Well, this is a game is still under development. I know everyone's saying, the game's done, bring it out. Now, I know the art is almost perfect. So obviously it obviously looks like a finished game. But yeah, so the game will be coming out, it's almost like every 6 weeks. We have new stuff coming out. So, I'm glad people are able to play in the alpha right now, but we still have a way to go to make sure it's a Blizzard style game. We need to make sure that there's no big balance problems, make sure that it plays good on all these different machines. We got to make sure we put that Blizzard pass on it. So it may look like it's ready. We're still, almost in the beta, but once we're in the beta, that's the final stretch.
Yeah, can't wait. So I think we got one more character wipe if you are in the pre-alpha or in the alpha, and then it's on the beta in January.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Samwise.
My pleasure. Take it easy, guys.